So the next bit is what will be useful for the lab where you want to plot an X or create an XY plot. So what I've done now is when I've gone to the lab, you have a couple of options to download a couple of VIs. Graph as chart is the VI that we're going to use, or sub VI, and demo on how to use is just if you wanted to understand how that particular graph as chart is. So what I did is I downloaded those, and then I made sure, and this is important, from my downloads I actually copied them to the folder where I'm doing all where I'm saving my VI. So I'm here in lab 3, and you can see I have the labview VI that I'm working on right now, graph as chart, and I don't really need the demo there. So what I'm going to do is I will go back to the VI that we were working on, and all I have to do is go to, okay, so I have the graph as chart. All I need to do is drop it in there, just like you did in the pre-lab 1 where you created your own labview VI and then you brought in another VI in there. And you can see that that VI or sub VI has a couple of inputs, one for X, one for Y. It has an output for a plot, and then a couple of things that you can change. The charge history, that by default is 10,000, and you can also clear the graph. So what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to plot channel 1 versus channel 0. So I'm going to say, okay, channel 1 is the y-axis and channel 0 is the x-axis. Yeah. Now I am going to, just to make my VI cleaner, I'm just going to get rid of this waveform one here. And instead I'm going to create a chart here. So I'm going to create an indicator. When I do that, you can see I get just a matrix there. Right click, replace graph XY, and now I have an XY connected to the output of this graph chart. The last bit that we can do is add the ability to reset the graph or to clear all the data. So what I'm going to do is there on the little terminal that says clear graph, I'm just going to right click and create a control, and that just adds a little button that allows you to, whenever you press it, it would clear the data. One last thing I'm going to do is once I go to that button and right click on it, in the mechanical action I'm going to choose latch when released, and this is just like a button where if you press it, it momentarily goes down, and then as soon as you let go, it comes back to unpressed. So now I'm going to go ahead and plot it, and so all I'm going to do is run it, and you should immediately start getting a few points there, and you can see that in the XY. You can always go and auto scale Y if it's not already there. Same thing with the X-axis, you can do that. That basically is it. That would take care of what you want. If you want to clear the graph, you just click there, it clears it, and then starts plotting from that point on. If you are doing a measurement, what I would do, rather than having the plot be a line, I would go here to the plot, and instead of using a line plot, I would use something like a plot done with points, and that's much clearer when you are actually taking data points. Each one of those dots, it's a data point.